They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear until it is done.
Rip and tear until it is done. These words are the first thing we hear when the Doomslayer awakens from his prison. But they are more than just a simple phrase that frankly sounds pretty cool. These words have quite the great amount of meaning behind, not simply out of a grander implication of what the words mean, but of what they say about the one whom they are being spoken of. The Doomslayer. But who exactly is this mysterious and almost godlike figure? To answer this, we must look at not who the Doomslayer is, but rather who they are. The Doomslayer entity is in essence not one physical being, but rather two. One on a vengeance-fueled crusade, and the other simply there to defeat all that would harm the universe. This story is not of one universe, but rather many. The few things we do know are constantly opposed by the idea of things that we do not know. The only concrete piece of information that we do have is that the Doomslayer is at least one part a spaceman. The Marine was one of the last Marines defending his Earth from an invasion of the demons, a race of beings that were and always will be bent on the destruction of parallel existences to further fuel their war machine. In his case, he fought valiantly and without an ounce of regret, ripping and tearing through the demons of hell, ultimately destroying their way into Earth, but in the process sacrificing himself for the sake of his planet. The Marine's story does not end here. In fact, this is just the beginning. Upon trapping himself in the realm of the demons, the Marine learned more and more about them, about how the demons had not stopped yet. If they could not conquer one universe, they would simply move on to the next one. It was here that the Marine, upon discovering the demons' plan, would become known as the Doom Marine. Along the way, the Marine would slay the mightiest beasts the demons would throw at him, and in the process, he would keep saving universe after universe. Eventually, he would discover a suit of armor, not unlike anything that he had seen before. The Praetor suit. A piece of armor that would allow for the Doom Marine to ascend from simply being a guy with a bunch of guns, to being an unstoppable force of protection. The demons, in an attempt to defeat the unstoppable force, unleashed new levels of horror upon the Doomslayer. It is here that the Doomslayer was approached by a being that claimed itself only as the Betrayer, and for good reason, as the being was once the owner of the very armor the Doom Marine now wore, and more so, the reason the demons had been able to conquer so many worlds. This Betrayer had once been one of the Order of Knights on a distant and higher plane of existence, known as Argent Tenur. These knights had been tasked with one job and one job alone, to protect their plane of existence from any that wished to invade it. When the demons decided to invade Argent Tenur, it took to more underhanded means. They kidnapped the son of one of the knights, and eventually convinced that knight to betray his people for the safety of his child. This is where the Betrayer became the Betrayer. And through his ransom to the demons, Argent Tenur was no more. For the Betrayer, however, this would have been the end, for the demons had lied. His son had become a twisted being, the icon of sin. The Betrayer would turn on the demons, slaughtering them by the thousands, finally falling when he could no longer fight. This was not the end for the Betrayer. But when he offered to give his power, the power of the spirit of vengeance to the Doom Marine, the Marine accepted, and now, too became the true form of what we know as the Doomslayer, the nightmare of demons, and the embodiment of vengeance. Eventually, the Doomslayer was defeated, but only through the cunning of the demons, asleep for as long as the demons could keep him. But now, the vengeance has awoken, and the Doomslayer thirsts for not only retribution, but the destruction of the demons, once and for all.
He cannot be allowed to leave this place. He would ruin everything.
I'm willing to take full responsibility for the horrible events of the last 24 hours, but you must understand, our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind. Everything has clearly gotten out of hand.